everyone, Milo here for the Fellowship of Acoustics and welcome to a new episode of The Vault. Today we're going to dive into Gibson land because we're going to have a look at a semi-hollow electric from 1960. I'm here in front of the new arrivals wall and next to it is our vault, and this is where we keep our most prized possessions. All guitars are sort of time capsules, though we do have some new boutique guitars in there as well. But today it's still vintage, so we're going to a vintage Gibson ES-345. Follow me. Check it out. There she is with the infamous Veritone Switch. We'll talk all about that later. Let's find a more nicely lit spot here at the Fellowship. All right, we're here at the counter with a 345 from 1960. A 345TD, we say. So let's talk a little bit about the model. It was introduced in 1959 as a more deluxe version of the 335. So the 335 was first introduced in 58, so after only 1 year they decided we need a more deluxe version of this particular instrument. And this was to bridge the gap between a 335 and a 355, which is even more luxurious. Of course, 335, 345 also stands for the price that it had at the time. And we do see some upgrades. So the most notable and the most infamous choice that Gibson made is the stereo capabilities of the 345. You see it here on the headstock plate as well. It is a true stereo guitar. So what does this mean and why did they include it? Gibson's idea was that people wanted to use a guitar like this with 2 amps. So you would use a Y cable, as you call it, to go to split it into 2 mono signals, and you have 2 amps and you can split the 2 pickups that you're using. This actually sounds fantastic if you do it the right way, but I don't know of anyone that really was using it at the time. You probably have some examples, then please leave a comment down below. I don't know of them. But it is a great sound. I've heard it once, it sounds fantastic. Besides the added stereo capabilities, we see some other upgrades. We see some golden hardware. We see a triple binding on the front and on the back as well. And then on the fingerboard, of course, you see the split parallelogram inlays, which are looking mighty fine still after all these years. This one has a stop bar. It also came with a Bigsby. More on that later because there are 2 holes here that I want to show you. So let's talk about 1960. What are the specs specifically for this year? There were some changes that Gibson made during this year, and we see one change that they made and one change that they made, but you don't see it on this particular 1960. One thing they changed to a shorter pickguard design. So this extends beyond the bridge pickup, but after 1960 you see a shorter pickguard that doesn't extend beyond the bridge pickup. So this one still has the longer pickguard, but a change that they did make is they changed the plate on the Varitone to a gold plate in 1960, and we do see this. And before 1960 this was a black plastic plate. So that's funny because most people think, okay, in 1960 they changed the specs, so on the 1st of January 1960 there was a letter sent out to all the Gibson employees, this is what we're going to do, but that's not the case. So these are changes that happen gradually. Another specification for 1960 is that this ES-345 still has the PAF pickups, the holy grail of humbuckers. There are 2 in here and they sound fantastic. They are wired out of phase because that's what you need when you split them to 2 amps. So when you use it mono, which you can do, then it will sound out of phase in the middle position. Okay, so then the infamous Veritone, the 6 preset switch. What were they thinking? Gibson wanted to offer the player sort of 6 presets, EQ presets. Preset 1, option 1 is a true bypass, so it doesn't go to any extra capacitors or anything. But then there are 5 others that sort of cut some of the frequencies out. So they suck some of the tone out. Over the years, people gave these presets some names. Some people say squishy or underwater or guitar in a box. I don't know of a lot of people using this, but one very notable and very famous example is B.B. King. He actually used a Veritone on his 355 it was. While this is a stereo guitar, they even say it on the truss rod cover here, you can use this guitar as a mono instrument. You just have to wedge the cable in here halfway so that it only makes contact with half of it, and then you can use it as a mono instrument. But a lot of players, they wire this guitar after they bought it to be a mono instrument. So we see that a lot of the time when we receive 345s or 355s, but this is still stereo. If you have a close-up look of this 345, you see some of the wear, you see the crackling in the finish, because this guitar has been played throughout its lifetime. I've touched briefly upon the 2 holes here, and this gives us the impression that there was a Bigsby on this guitar once in its lifetime. Out of the factory in 1960, there were 2 options, a stop bar like this or a Bigsby. So there is a possibility that this came out of the factory with a Bigsby and it has been converted to a Tune-o-matic with a stop bar, or maybe it came out with a stop bar and someone later added a Bigsby and went back. We don't know. Another minor thing that has been changed, and what's mostly a change for the better, is new tuners. You see the Kluson Deluxe tuners from Crazy Parts. So these are really stable, and these are on the right now. Last week we had Joey Landreth, the amazing, wonderful slide player from Canada. We had him here over at the store, and we also brought out this guitar for him to play. And he tried out some of the positions. I think we have some video that we can show you. You can hear some of the sounds that this Veritone makes, even through the hands of a wonderful player like Joey. While we were away, there were some guitars brought here. I don't know if we are going to buy them as a store, we're going to sell them. I don't know anything about these, but come and have a look. This is a DSS Martin Hops and Barley, as you can see. Check out those inlays. It's incredible. Then we have 2 very beautiful, both Brazilian, right? The Joan Baez's.
Maybe we can grab
Tom.
So this is of course a 12 fret 45 style. This is not a Brazilian, I think this is Madagascar. Yeah, it's a Joan Baez signature.
That's beautiful. And then a really special
That's a
D45.
That's a Brazilian with a really nice set. Check that out. Whoa. But then we have another one which is really interesting. It's this one. Whoa. This is called a compass, and for a good reason, because it has a compass on the back.
Does it work?
Yeah.
I don't know actually.
That's where north
Up north. Yeah,
Whoa.
this is flamed koa. Really nice.
So 4 Martin guitars in a Gibson video. Sorry, Gibson. With really good PAFs or PAF style pickups, you get sort of a squishy sort of attack, but also a openness just on a clean amplifier that is just, that's incredible. Thank you, Tom, for your beautiful playing, and thank you all for watching this episode of The Vault, a 1960 ES-345. Please let us know in the comments down below what you think of this guitar and the sounds of it. So we will have shown you also the video of Joey Landreth playing this guitar. And please have a look on our website, because we have all of our vintage guitars on there. If you see a guitar on there that you want to have featured in a video like this, then please let us know and we'll try and make that for you. So hope to see you in the next installment. Bye-bye.
Bye.